Android is the largest mobile platform in the world, and the main reason is the abundance of devices to fit every user's need. Budget phones are a huge part of that, and over the past couple of years they've been getting incredibly good. Today we'll be taking a look at the Huawei P8 Lite. Now this entry from the Chinese manufacturer brings a lot to the table for its price, but is it worth your hard-earned dollar? Let's find out. I'm Ben with iTech Triad, and this is our video review of the Huawei P8 Lite. The Huawei P8 Lite brings a somewhat premium design to the budget space. Now the design is almost identical to the phone's older brother, the Huawei P8, but this time it's made out of plastic. Now while that might be a downside for some, let's remember that this is a budget phone. Now the phone feels great in the hand and it seems fairly durable. The textured back not only looks and feels awesome as well, but it seems like it could take a beating. Now in my use of the P8 Lite, I never had an issue with scratching the device no matter what surface I had the phone on, and that's a huge plus for a budget device. Now on the front of the P8 Lite is a 5-inch 720p IPS display, which is, well, it's decent. It's not bad by any means, but it has an issue with the brightness. Now simply put, it's really not all that bright. Indoor use is just fine, but taking the phone out on a bright day usually won't work out too well. Now one of the things a lot of people think about when they see a Chinese phone or a budget phone is bad software. Now in the case of the P8 Lite, it's really not all that bad. But in 2015, it seems like the company would have at least installed the latest version of Android. However, out of the box, the P8 Lite has Android 4.4 KitKat installed with Huawei's own skin on top. Now the skin is fairly heavy, but it works fairly well and it is pretty smooth. Now like most Chinese OEMs, Huawei takes the iOS approach to apps by placing everything on the home screen with no app drawer. Thankfully, however, you can still arrange your apps and widgets however you would like. Now this isn't really something that bothered me while using this phone. However, if you do need an app drawer, you can simply download another launcher from the Play Store, like the Google Now launcher or Action Launcher 3. Performance on the P8 Lite is fairly solid with the Snapdragon 615 and 2GB of RAM under the hood. Now the interface runs with minimal lag and games for the most part do fine. Now I mostly used casual games on the P8 Lite and they all ran without any problems at all. Now one of the unique things about the P8 Lite is that it's capable of using 2 SIM cards at a time. Now there are 2 SIM card slots which are both compatible with GSM SIM cards. This is a feature that would be useful for those of you who live in areas with spotty coverage, as you could choose between networks whenever you'd like to. Now the camera on the P8 Lite is a 13 megapixel sensor that is, well, it's pretty bad. It's capable of taking a good shot now and then, but the odds of that are against you. Generally, shots have terrible processing and plenty of digital noise. Now shots should be fine for social media, but I really wouldn't use them for much else. The camera app itself is pretty decent, as it takes a simple approach without throwing a million things at you. Now battery life on the P8 Lite is one of the highlights of this phone. With a 2200 mAh battery under the hood, you wouldn't expect much. However, the P8 Lite can easily get you through a day of use, if not just a little bit more. Now this phone is not a road warrior like the Huawei Ascend Mate 2, but it will definitely get you through a day. Now at the end of the day, the Huawei P8 Lite is a solid phone for a pretty decent price. At $249, you get quite a bit for your money. Now while the Huawei P8 Lite does have its downsides, it's still a very solid choice. The highlight feature would, without a doubt, be the dual SIM capability, as not many phones here in the US offer that feature. Now you can learn more about the P8 Lite in our written review, which is linked down in the description below. Also be sure to check out our video review of the Huawei TalkBand B2, which is also linked down below. Also be sure to give this video a like and subscribe while you're down there for more tech videos just like this one. As always, a huge thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in our next video.